The world that they offer you is gray and promises dystopian control. They offer you safety and security purchased with the currency of your freedoms. But on this channel, we say absolutely not. The warmth and freedom of individual liberty will pass on from us to the next generation, and it starts right now. Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, how we're going to fix these bad boys together, and we're going to take a break from covering the Marshmallow Fest that is happening in Los Angeles, the Marshmallow Roasting Fest, I must say, and talk about how the ultimate sour grapes have struck the gun controllers in the New Jersey Attorney General's office. They are suing NAGR. They're going after them, and I'm going to say it right now, they're going to need some support because they are attempting to bleed them dry in court proceedings. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think, and of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are pushing freedom so hard, and that YouTube censorship algorithm keeps on getting in the daggone way, so make sure you overcome it by doing just that. All right, people, let's dive into this. As I mentioned in the introduction, we're going to jump over on my X profile. We just crossed 18,000 followers. Please jump over here. Make sure you are following because this is where it's happening. We launched exclusive X content today, or Braden exclusive. Get it? We launched that today, and we will be pushing that really hard in addition to our YouTube content, so make sure you check that out. All right. So NAGR, as you guys know, they won a big court case. Well, actually, technically, they won a big settlement with the DOJ around FRTs. They basically kicked the gun controllers to the curb. We covered that. It was big news. Well, now they're getting sued by 16 liberal states. Yeah, they're suing because they lost in the ultimate case of sour grapes. Now they're coming after the DOJ, and they're trying to prevent the FRTs from being returned to their rightful owners. This is a whole thing. From NAGR themselves, blue states sue ATF and National Association for Gun Rights. 16 anti-gun attorneys general seek to block agreement to return illegally seized triggers. Now, the important thing to note here is they're going to need they're going to need support, flat out. They are, because this group, the AGs, the 16 of them, they're going to tie the NAGR up in court, and they're going to try to bleed them dry financially. Now, I don't think that they're going to be successful, but still, check them out. Make sure that you are at least aware of what's going on, because they are going to need that support, because they're weathering a return fire after they won. I mean, honestly, they kicked them right in the balls, and they're pissed, and now they're trying to destroy them. That's what you're looking at here. A federal court already ruled the government unlawfully seized thousands of legal triggers from law-abiding Americans, a decision that the ATF now acknowledges and accepts, said Hannah Hill, vice president of the NAGR. These states lack standing to file this lawsuit, and they know it. This suit is just as reckless as political lawfare. Is just reckless political lawfare. Right. They are going to go after NAGR because NAGR gave them a black eye, particularly around FRTs in the big deal with the DOJ. They beat them, and they're pissed about it. Look, Giffords.org, attorneys general across the country are suing the Trump administration to prevent them from flooding our communities with forced reset triggers, which converts firearms into machine guns. Abject lie. I know you guys are shocked that Giffords would be lying again, but they're lying again. Thank you at New Jersey, Attorney General, for leading this effort to protect the public from increased violence. And I've got the actual live video feed too. Oh, that's not important. All right. Attorney General Platkin putting thousands of machine guns, they're not, back on the street makes everyone less safe. They're not. Force reset trigger devices that convert firearms into machine guns, they don't, were prohibited by the ATF and confiscated for a reason, and then the DOJ said, no, we overstepped. They have no standing. They're just trying to go after NAGR. But now, I have got the actual video from one of our own reporters, John Petrolino. He went out there, and he actually got Platkin to get on record and say what he's done. Listen to this. Good on him. Guys, we are coalescing as a very, very powerful force altogether, and this is what I like to see. Watch this.
Next question is from John Petrolino, Penn Patriot.
Yes, good morning, Attorney General. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, great. I have two and a half questions, if you'll indulge me. The first question that I have is, per Bruin, I'm just curious, what is the historical analog from 1791 that says banning an FRT would be constitutional?
Uh-huh.
Hey,
All
Jim.
right. So before this dill hole starts talking, because this is the little twerp that's suing NAGR and the DOJ, leading 16 states to take away things that are already ours again that aren't machine guns. Before he starts talking, I just want to give credit to John Petrolino, because that was an incredible, incredible question. Hey, where's your justification under the Bruin decision to do what you're doing? Yeah, watch this.
You don't get half questions, so you can do 2 questions. Second of all, you can read our brief, which is now public, and see all of our arguments. Third of all, as you know, courts have not conclusively said it has to be from 1791. There's an open legal debate about whether it's 1791 or the Reconstruction era. It's not.
Okay, so just so you guys know, he's trying to make the case that says, well, there's an open legal debate whether, the historical tradition can be from 1791 to the ratification of the Second Amendment or from the Reconstruction era, which is a little more helpful to our argument. So there's still a question. No, there's not. You suck. Anyway, let's keep going.
Really the point of this. The point of this is very simple. For decades, including post-Bruin, the federal government has considered machine gun conversion devices like forced reset triggers that convert firearms into automatic weapons that, as Attorney General said, has killed indiscriminately, including law enforcement officers, as machine guns. For a very simple reason, because we don't think, as a country, and consistent with the Second Amendment, that you have a right to own a firearm that is more lethal than the highest grade military machine guns. And so what the administration is doing here, not through a rulemaking, not through a statutory change, not through any type of legal action other than a private settlement agreement with private parties. They won't even tell us, or tell the public rather, who these machine guns will go back to.
Okay. They're not machine guns, you dolt. And don't worry, I know some of you are watching and going, what about the Cargill decision? John sets that up and tees it off beautifully in a second. However, this idiot is going down the road of, well, they're machine guns. So since they're machine guns, and I've dictated they're machine guns, we're going to treat them like machine guns, even though they're not machine guns, but we want them to be machine guns. And after all, a private deal was made. The DOJ was one of the people who made the deal. There's nothing private about it, moron. This is not the evil gun lobby and NAGR got together and they decided privately. No, this is the DOJ, who, by the way, the DOJ runs the ATF. This entire thing is public-private public-private agreement because they literally overstepped their bounds. It's not difficult. But these guys are trying to snatch victory from defeat, and they won't be able to do it. But they sure can bleed NAGR dry. That's what's happening. Let's keep going.
So could it be violent felons? Of course. Could it be domestic violence abusers? Of course. Could it be?
I can't help it. Okay, so violent felons? Wait a minute. The guys that can't get guns because your gun control says they can't get guns. So why are you concerned that violent felons would get guns with FRTs? That doesn't make any sense. How's that possible? I'm befuddled. Yes, let's keep going.
People who will sell to violent felons and domestic violence abusers? Of course. Want to put machine guns, 12,000 of them, into all of their hands. So we welcome the legal fight, but again, there isn't a single public safety expert in the country who is speaking honestly, who isn't bought and sold by the gun lobby, who would tell you that putting machine guns on streets save lives. Period.
They're not machine guns. They're stupid pieces of equipment that reset a trigger. This is idiotic. But don't worry. They accuse everyone else of being bought and paid for by the gun lobby. Meanwhile, the gun control lobby, Evertown for Gun Safety, Giffords.org, and Moms Demand Action are up this guy's butthole so far that he's bleeding orange. Anyway, look at the little pin. Stupid. Get him again, John. Get him.
Okay.
What's your second question?
Thank you for that, AG. The second one is in U.S. versus Cargill, they extensively covered, machine gun action, and that's settled precedent, and they made it clear that it has to do with the single function of the trigger. Doesn't an FRT require multiple functions of the trigger? It's not
No.
one single function.
No, it is one single function, and we lay this out in the brief. You
No,
pull
it's
the
not,
trigger
you
back
moron.
and hold it, and it will continuously fire. And I would note, and I'll just finish with this, and then we can move on. The attorney for the plaintiffs in Cargill, at oral argument, said the question would be much more complicated than bump stocks for force reset triggers. So, by their own admission, this is a different legal issue. And again, one pull of the trigger, holds it down, fire 900 rounds a minute. If that's not a machine gun, I don't know what is.
Again, this is the same argument they always make, and we're wrapping this video up. They always go to the velocity of fire is equating to a machine gun. No, the statutory language is one bullet for one pull of the trigger. Now, the big difference of that this well-learned attorney general from New Jersey is obviously not comprehending, or is just intentionally not doing it, is saying that if you hold the trigger down, then it just goes off. Well, if you just hold the trigger down on a bump stock and you push it against your shoulder, that's resetting the whole way. All right? Well, the same thing happens, but only in your hand on an FRT. There's a little mechanism that pushes the trigger back. So it resets it every single time. It's a reset. That's why they call it a reset. But don't worry, because it fires quickly. Now it's a machine gun now. You know what? Props to John Petrolino. Props to NAGR for taking this battle and right on the chin, and probably going to get black eyes, but it doesn't matter. You guys are all behind him, and we will continue to cover this and give them the support that they need, because they are honestly just on the receiving end of some sour grapes because the government got their butts kicked. But that's what I've got for you guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I will see you later tonight when we do some very important marshmallow roasting from Los Angeles, and I'll see you on the next one.